Shalom. I want to start by giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth and allowing us to push it out there to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the hopeful elect, Akim and Akwath. Akim meaning brother, Akwath meaning sisters. Okay. And shalom to the brothers that's out there working hard, laboring hard, risking their life and their freedom to do so, to just push this truth out there. I'm the brother of Sharban Yahweh of the Great Millstone DC camp. I'm a newer brother. This is the hardest job I've ever had in my life. But this job is your number one job. This truth is your number one job, and it will make you infinitely wealthy in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai. And speaking of which, today I'm talking about the waiting on the kingdom, okay? And waiting on the kingdom, because that's what we're doing. We're fighting, we're building the new kingdom here on the earth by prophesying in truth and in sincerity, and prophesying the downfall of this wicked kingdom as we know as Babylon the Great, which is America. America is not mentioned verbatim in the scriptures, but if you read the scriptures and you take the characteristics that describe Babylon the Great, you will see that this is America, Egypt, Sodom, Gomorrah, etc. Okay, so as we know right now, there's a huge conflict going on right now in Iran. It was ancient Carmania, ancient Persia. Okay, according to Second Ezra chapter 15. Second Ezra chapter 15. Okay. So we are at the beginning of World War III, and that is setting the stage for the downfall of Esau. That is setting the stage for the house of David to rule under the authority of Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Jesus Christ. Okay, Jesus Christ is not his real name. Jesus Christ is not a white man or Edomite. Edomites are the so-called white man. We do know that you can look like any other nation, but you can indeed be an Israelite. You can even look like an Edomite, but you could be an Israelite, right? And therefore, your only hope is that you are Israelite, okay? But even of all of the Israelites, only 1/3 of that remnant of the Israelites are going to be saved. The 1/3 remnant and 144,000 elect men that are going to be set up as kings and priests in the kingdom that is to come. Now, the kingdom I'm speaking about is in book of Matthew chapter 6 verse 33, which is actually one of my favorite scriptures to read. Matthew chapter 6 verse 33. I even, let me get that real quick. Matthew chapter 6 verse 33. I should have had it ready. Y'all know me. I got to take my notes. Otherwise, I'll be lost in the sauce, okay? All right. So, this book of St. Matthew chapter 6, verse 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and his righteousness, and all of these things shall be added unto you. If you are seeking after the ways of Yahweh Shai, which is who the world calls Jesus Christ, you are seeking after the kingdom, trying to get your ticket to get your seat on the chariots to get the hell out of here, okay, before the nukes hit. You have to seek first the kingdom and live after Yahweh Shai and live after his righteousness. Try to practice the law, statute, and commandments to the best of your ability. You can't practice all of them here in Babylon the Great, right? That requires faith, okay? But you have to have faith, right? You have to have faith that what you're doing is working and making your calling and election sure, right? You have to be diligent, okay? And you have to understand that everything comes with time, and everything is a prophecy that has to unfold, okay? All right. So, when you chase after that righteousness of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, man, everything in your personal life is gonna be handled already. It's gonna be handled. Okay. You're gonna have everything that you need. If you don't have it, you don't need it. Point blank, period. Right? Or maybe you'll get it in the future. Don't worry about the things of this world. Don't worry about, your family. Don't worry about none of that. Okay, because you're gonna receive 100-fold when you chase after Yahweh Shai. Okay, I'm actually want to get that scripture because I didn't have that one prepared. So we in front of this trusty dusty computer. Computer is not dusty. It's quite nice. Let me see. Salakia. Okay. So this chapter, Matthew chapter 19, verse 29. Let me actually go to that. Matthew chapter 19, verse 29. I needed a little assistance from the Googles. Okay. Matthew chapter 19, verse 29. And it says, and everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands for my name's sake, what's his name? Yahweh Shai. For my name's sake shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. See, that everlasting life part is not a joke. It's not a fairy tale. It's not a fantasy. You're actually going to have everlasting life if you live after the ways of Yahweh Shai. Okay, if you seek your election through Yahweh Shai, you're actually going to have everlasting life. It's going to be a real thing. Like, you'll never die. Like, imagine. Okay, imagine not having to wake up to a fucking alarm clock. Okay, like, I woke up at 3:45 this morning only to be told to stay home, which was a blessing of Yahweh Shai, because now I can do the work. Okay, but it's, imagine not having to pay bills. Imagine your women listening to you and respecting you and submitting to you. Imagine being able to raise a family, a huge family, as many wives as you want, a body that never gets sick, a body that never gets tired. You feel no sadness, no pain, no sorrow. There's no war. There's no, oh, I wonder what this president's going to do next. You'll be ruling. Imagine that. Of course, under the authority of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Under that authority, because there's an order. As I've stated in a previous video, there is an order. Okay. Imagine not being sick. Imagine you being able to enjoy your family, being able to enjoy your life, being able to have a purpose in building a kingdom. Okay. Right. That's what's coming. Every man needs a purpose. And Yahweh Bashim Shai knows that. So what's our purpose? Our purpose is to live after the ways of Yahweh Bashim Shai. And our purpose is to be able to rule over this world and rule over this universe, man. Rule over all. This is Yahweh Bashim Shai. He's going to give all of this to us. Everything. Right? Imagine being able to eat real food, drink real water, clean water that's not in a bottle. When you drink your wine, it's not polluted and got all type of evil spirits on it. Right? When you breathe the air, it's clean. It's refreshing. The wine is made from grapes the size of a freaking soccer ball. Like, can you imagine? Right? Can you imagine how good and nutritious the food is gonna be? Right? It wasn't made from a cow in distress and got mixed up with a pig somehow. You know how Esau does, man. He just defiles everything. Defiled bread. I actually want to get that. Okay, yeah. So I got Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13. And this is, and the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentile where I would drive them. Meaning we were driven out of Israel and placed and scattered amongst all these other nations, just eating all type of shit. The labels say chicken, but they got pork gelatin in there somehow. It's fucking witchcraft, dude. Like, it's how do you mix that up? The food is garbage. It's causing cancer. It's causing all type of mental illnesses. And you wonder why the schools are getting shot up. Because the air is polluted, the water's polluted, the food is terrible for you. Nobody's getting the exercises. You're spending 2/3 of your life working for somebody else. You can't even enjoy your life. You can't even raise a family. You can't multiply. You can't live after the commandments of Yahweh Shai. right? Um, and that creates an environment of just pure freaking chaos. Okay, so I want to go with my next scripture because I've been talking for a long time, but I have one written down here. Let me actually go to Revelation chapter 21 because Revelation chapter 21 is talking about the kingdom, okay, and our glory that we're gonna have under Yahweh Shem Shai, right? It's a new heaven, new earth, man. You know what that means by new heaven, new earth is it's a new realm, a new realm under a new vibration, established physically here on the earth. The kingdom is not you floating up in the clouds, because you ever hear someone in the world say, oh, heaven must be boring, because you know they a bunch of sinful, wicked people. They think they supposed to have orgies and smoke cigarettes all day. Like, they think hell is fun when they don't even know that this is hell where we're living right now in America. This is hell. This is hell. This is not a place where it's burning forever. When it burns forever, that's because the nuclear missiles done hit it, okay? Now I'm about to get down to Revelation chapter 21, and I'm gonna start at verse 1, and I'm gonna go all the way down to 4, and I'm gonna skip to 12 because that's what I have written down. Now, I'm not gonna do too much breaking down on it because there are a lot of breakdowns on it already, as well as I'm low on the totem pole when it comes to these breakdowns, okay? Right? I, I'll be honest with you, and it takes a real man to be honest to you. How about y'all shy, man? Now, I do know the breakdown, but again, this is the hardest job I've ever had. If I break this down the wrong way, I'm responsible for that. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it simple. So I'm gonna read Revelation chapter 21, verse 1. And it says, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, right? Meaning this world that Esau is ruling, that's gonna be out the way. That's once the World War III comes to a explosive conclusion, like literally explosive, like it's gonna be like mushroom clouds and shit, right? Like thermonuclear warfare, right? That's gonna bring the downfall of Esau Edom. Okay. Edom is where Esau comes from, right? That's where he originated from, Mount Seir and all that. Petra is what some people call it. Anyways, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. Okay. And I, John, because John the Revelator wrote this with a vision that he received while he was on the island of Patmos. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Yahweh out of heaven, as prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Meaning, when you think of a wedding and that girl's coming down the aisle and she's looking all good in that white dress, right? That's how we'll be looking. Not like literally wearing a white dress, but I don't know what we'll be wearing. But it'll be some holy garments, okay? But we'll be like a breath of fresh air into the world, man, because we're coming down to rule this place, man. And we're coming down from the chariots to establish this place and rebuild it, using slaves, of course. That'll be great. So we don't have to lay a finger, all right? Freaking Let's go down to verse 3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God. Meaning that it's going to be written in our DNA, our spirit, our inward parts, that we are the children of Yahweh Shem Shai, and we won't fall into any more idolatry. Okay, we're not gonna fall into any more idolatry, whether it's money, Christmas, Thanksgiving, all these pagan, weirdo Babylonian traditions. We will not follow into that tradition. Okay, so and it says, and Yahweh shall, it's verse 4, and Yahweh shall wipe away their tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death. You'll never die. No, neither sorrow nor crying, because now you're under a righteous, holy kingdom and under a righteous vibration. Everything is clean. Everything is just perfect, man. Perfect for us. Okay. There won't be any more sadness. Your tear ducts probably won't even be there. I don't know, but ain't no more of that. Ain't no more being up under Esau having to wake up crying and sighing, right? Because there's a difference between sighing and crying and complaining, right? There's a difference between the two, right? I sigh and cry. That shit sucks ass, but I'm still thankful that Yahweh Shai woke me up to see another day, to at least be able to get closer to the downfall of Esau. Okay, all right. Neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for all the former things have passed away. Meaning everything that was in this world that was holding us back from serving Yahweh Shai, living in our true purpose, because this earth was built for the Israelite men. Um, 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 we won't be living in under that vibration no more. Everything will be, you know what I mean? Everything will be just great, because Yahweh Shai is coming to deliver us through the chariots, right? The hopeful elect. The reason why we say hopeful elect is because as individuals, right, we don't know if we of the elect. There are signs, but we don't know, right? But we fight for it, right? Actually, let me get that scripture. All right, so here it is, 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 10. And it says, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if ye do these things, ye shall never fall. Mean if you work hard and you work and you do what you're supposed to do, you do your part, you show up to camp, you make your videos, you study, you pray, you fast, celebrate the high holy days, you do as much as you can, you simplify your life around the truth, man. No matter what the sacrifice is, you are fighting to make your calling and election sure. You're fighting for that. We don't know, the elect was written from the beginning of the time, but we as individuals really don't know if we of the elect or not. I don't know. My elders don't know. The apostles, we'd be surprised, but we just don't know. Okay, so we fight for that election. Okay, again, I'm a newer brother, so I'm nervous as hell. I be honest with you, but I'm gonna, Lord willing, out of one Ratazar, we do our best and we continue to fight and we continue to push and we continue to never quit and stay away from sin as much as possible, man. As much as possible, and live after the ways of Yahweh Shemi Shai. We're gonna keep going, man. So I want to get Second Esdras chapter 2 verse 13. Second Esdras chapter 2 verse 13. Give me 1 second. Second Esdras chapter 2 verse 13. Chapter 2 verse 13. Okay, this is Second Esdras chapter 2 verse 13. Go, and ye shall receive. Pray for a few days unto you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch. Yahweh Shemi Shai has already prepared the kingdom for you, and it will be his pleasure to give it to you. Right? You have to pray that these days are short, because these days that we living in are hell, man. That's why, hey, the faster the days go, the better I feel, honestly. Because if Esau had all the time in the world, nobody would exist, man. He's a waster. Just death gets him off. If he killed all of the Israelites, got all the Israelites off the earth, he'd go get the heathen, he kill all the heathen, then they go kill themselves. That's the type of people we dealing with. Okay. All right. So let me see here. So I have also Luke chapter 21 verse 31. Okay. Luke chapter 21 verse 31. And I'm going to keep this to the point, man. 21 verse 31. Let's turn these pages some more. Luke 21 verse 31. And it says, So here it is. Sounds just like Matthew 6:33. So yeah, and it's crazy because that's spiritual. Excuse me, Salakia. It's spiritual that things are repeated in the scriptures. Because when things are repeated, clearly it's important, right? It's important. You should probably take heed to it. Hey, hey, man. Hey, Luke chapter 21, verse 31. So likewise, when ye see these things come to pass, know that, know ye that the kingdom of Yahweh is nigh at hand. And it's talking about all of these things that are happening right now, the prophecies that are unfolding. That's talking about prophecies. You can really read all the way back up to all the way, pretty much the whole chapter, because this is Yahweh Shai talking and telling us, like, how we know that the kingdom is coming. It's close. It's telling us about all the tribulations and the challenges that are happening in the world, the disasters, the false prophets, the deceivers, that will be, that we have to watch out for and take heed to in these last days. Verse 31 that I just read in the book of Luke chapter 21, Luke 21 and 31 is talking about, when you see all of these things happening, that's how you know, right? That's how you know the kingdom is getting close. And clearly we in that time, right? If anybody's talking about, oh, we'll be here for 1,000 years, you talking about raising a family and buying a house and buying a boat and man, you out of here, man. That rap career you want so bad, that college degree. I mean, it's not, do what you gotta do. You feel me? But we not in the time to be having these worldly hopes and dreams. Now you have to do what you can to sustain your personal situation, but don't expect that to be, that's because it's not gonna happen. Esau Edom, he's coming down like a madman, okay? He's coming down, he's crazy, he's nuts. But see, that's a 2/3 mindset. And that brings me to Zechariah chapter 13 verse 8. Okay, let me find that. Zechariah chapter 13 verse 8, because only the elect are going to understand that this kingdom is on its way out. This kingdom is falling away. It's dusty. This is a shitty kingdom, man. If I had it my way, I would not be here in America. At least I'd be, I don't know, like the Maldives or something, you know? You know what I mean? I'd be somewhere else if I had it my way. But Yahweh Shimon Shah wants us here so that us brothers can do the work and do his work, because the salvation and the deliverance is focused here in North America. Okay, so let me get Zechariah chapter 13 verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my God. And that's talking about the 2/3. Look at the Houston rodeo that just happened. That nonsense, full of 2/3. Full of 2/3, man. Was there some probably elect people in there? Sure, maybe. We don't know who the elect are. That 1/3 that's talking about, that 1/3 that's left therein is the elect. The 144,000, as well as the 1/3 men, women, and children, friends of the prophets, family members that may have some favor, etc. Again, we don't know who's of the elect, right? We may be surprised on who's not of the elect. You may be surprised that you're gonna see it in these last days. You're gonna see people continue to get sifted out. You know, that process has already begun, and it's a continuing process up until the last day, man. So, but we believe that the elect is already sealed through faith. Through faith, we believe the elect is already sealed. Like, cause we're here, man. We're here. So, um, what's gonna happen is the 2/3 that are gonna be cut off and die, they're gonna be destroyed, either through judgment before Jacob's trouble. They'll face tribulations during Jacob's trouble, or they may be reserved or preserved up until nuclear destruction here in the United States of America and around the world. Okay, the only difference is, the United States of America is not going to be rebuilt, not at all. It's going to be completely just a desert wasteland. It's not going to be anything to come back here and look up to. You can't go to the Grand Canyon. You can't go to Mount Denali, right? You can't go to the Yukon. Nah, none of that. It's done, over with. It's gonna be a desert. So, and it says, I will try them as gold is tried, meaning they're gonna get put through the fire, man. They're gonna get put through a lot of tribulations. And I did a video on enduring until the end. When you endure, okay, and you have this knowledge and wisdom, as according to Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6, right? When you have this, you have stability, right? You're gonna get put through the fire, and they're gonna call on Yahweh Shemi Shai and know his true name, Yahweh Shemi Shai. Yahweh Shemi Shai is gonna step to you, and you're gonna step to him, right? You're gonna say, he's gonna say, I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, the Lord is my God. It's talking about Yahweh. They're gonna call on Yahweh Shemi Shai, right? The name of Salaki, the name of Yahweh, written here, right? And Yahweh Shai. Yahweh, Yahweh, right? You bridge these last two, and Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai, right? So those are the names of the Heavenly Father, and the name of his son, his one and only begotten son. Okay, Bahashem, meaning in the name of, right? Okay. So, that's pretty much it that I have so far. Oh, I got Romans chapter 13 verse 11. I just thought about that. Romans chapter 13 verse 11. Now, through faith, it sounds like a good one I can put in. This is going to be my last precept, and I'm going to close out. Romans chapter 13, verse 11. Okay, here it is. Good one. Romans chapter 13, verse 11. Okay? And that, knowing the time, that it is high time to wake out of sleep, for now our salvation is nearer than we believe. Okay? That the kingdom is at hand, dude. It's here. Wake up. If you ain't woke up by now, you ain't gonna wake up. If you ain't got it, you ain't gonna get it. Okay? Wake up. We're here now. Here's the time. The kingdom is so close. Look at everything that's happening in the world. We're so close to having everything that the Lord has promised us, man. All we gotta do is do our small part. That's all we gotta do. We do our small part. We get everything back in return, man. Okay? And I hope this video was edifying for those who are listening. And with that, I want to say, Brakata Yahweh, Bashimi Shai, double honors to apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And, shalom to the hopeful elect brothers and sisters out there. And hope you learned something. I hope you like it, hey, high time, man. Wake up. We there. The kingdom is at hand. So shalom.